difficulty, but let's begin. And we have a wonderful group of Bissel Yiddishes here. I'd like to begin, and we're going to begin with some thoughts that Elissa Kaplan has about the holidays.
So, Shalom Aleichem, everybody. Hashem Tov to all of you. I probably should say Shalom Aleichem, y'all, since I just came back from the Shenandoah Valley. So, yes, so here you have Holiday Hannah. Just bring you up to date on the month of Av. It comes actually from the Babylonian Abu, the Babylonian calendar. We copied a lot of good stuff from there. And that word in Babylonian and in Hebrew means father or papa. So the month of Av is it is very interesting because it has high points and low points. We'll start with the low points because they come first. The ninth Av, though, is the month of the lion. How many people here, it's also August, how many people here are Leos? Raise your hand if you're, see, we only have one Leo? Okay.
Ich weiß nicht.
Oh, you don't know. If you were born in August, you're a Leo. Yeah, Cantor Debbie. Okay. So we say that the Lion of Babylonian, King Nebuchadnezzar, he was quite a guy, came under the constellation of Leo, which was in August or Av, and destroyed the Lion of God, which was Jerusalem. And when did that happen? 586 BCE. But it seems like yesterday. That was the destruction of the first temple. And then a few other bad things happened on the 9th of Av. Oy, Gewalt. So the Romans destroyed the second temple on the 9th of Av. And they did that in the year 70, just a little over 2,000 years ago, very close. King Edward of England, King Edward I, boo hiss, expelled the Jews of England on this day. Luckily, he knew Jewish history. Okay, and remember Ferdinand and Isabella, 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Yep. We all had to learn that. Okay, he also expelled the Jews from Spain. Right. And closer to our time and to people here today, in 1942, on the 9th of Av, the deportation of Jews from the Warsaw Ghetto to the Treblinka extermination camp began. So this is a really big, sad day in Jewish history. But today's a happy day. So let's go to the high points of the month of Av. Well, shortly after the 9th of Av, almost a week later, comes the 15th of Av, or Tu B'Av. It's a time for new beginnings, which is what today is as well, even though it's not the 15th. In ancient times, in the times of before the second temple was destroyed, remember the Romans, forget the Romans. Okay, so they, this time of year, it's the wine harvest festival, and all the young women, AKA virgins, would dress up in their prettiest clothes, often white, and they would go dancing in the fields and pick out their future bridegroom. And I have, on social media of the time tells us that it was quite an orgy that night. Okay, today in Israel, we have wine festivals. So the best thing to do is go get a bottle of wine in honor of this day. Okay, another high point in the month of Av is the 22nd of Av, which happens to be August 19th, which happens to be today. Okay, and I declare this day Two Judys Day. So it's a Yontif today. Happy holiday. So by the way, a little factoid, it's also Coco Chanel's birthday. So this is why Judy and Judy always look so gorgeous when they get out their Chanel fashions or whatever they're wearing. All right, Judy Altmann, Judy Liebeskind, what's in a name? Now you were probably named for someone in your family, but you were also named for a famous heroine of the Maccabee story, and her name was Judith. And she was a gorgeous young woman and quite a ball buster. The bad guy in this story is a Syrian Greek guy named Holofernes, and he was cutting off the food and water supply to starve the Jews and conquer the country. So Judith, who is the daughter of the high priest, came with bread, cheese, and wine in the evening, and she sneaked into the camp, and she found Holofernes' tent, which was easy to find because it was gorgeous and had rugs and, people out front, all that good stuff. And so she told him that she would help him get control of the town, but that they should have some wine and cheese to celebrate. She got him so drunk, he passed out. Men, sorry, Peter. And what she did was she took his sword, killed him, and cut off his head. She was quite a gal, that Judith, and saved the town, and the Jews won the battle, and the Greeks left. All right. Another famous Judy is Lady Judy Montefiore, married to Lord Montefiore in the 18th century. Moses and Judy, these big names, traveled far and wide. They didn't have any children of their own, but they alleviated Jewish suffering. They were doing tikkun olam every day of their lives. And also she liked to serve a good meal, so they took their own shochet with them so they could have kosher meat. They must have traveled with hundreds of people. Okay, so, and she supposedly wrote the first Jewish cookbook in English. So Judy and Judy, and I know you're both good cooks. So we also have I have one other thing. We also have some famous Judys on this day, who are born on this day. Not born on this day, but the famous names. We have Judy Chicago, we have Judy Bloom, and Judge Judy. So the name Judy, and they're all Jews, by the way. Judy Bloom, of course, wrote great things, but Judy Altmann and Judy Liebeskind, you write great things too. Judy Chicago was an artist and a woman, feminist, and spoke out for freedom for all people, and did a great Holocaust project called From Darkness to Light. And that's what the two of you also do. And Judge Judy is really tough but fair, okay? I think that describes the two of you as well. And she's Jewish and she lives in Greenwich. You might run into her someday. Okay, so happy Two Judys Day. And this is a wonderful month of Av.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, Elissa, that was fabulous. I mean, really fabulous. So moving right on.
Put me in very good company. Thank you.
They are in good company with the two of you. That's true. So meanwhile, Annette has gotten on, so I see her. And also, as we continue here, Cantor Debbie Katchko has some songs that she'd like to share.
I'm so honored to honor the two Judys, Judy Liebeskind, who I've just gotten to know briefly, but I know you're an amazing person, being honored and so beloved in the community. And of course, Judy Altmann, who I've known, I think, a good portion of my life. And I revere this woman and just love everything she has done with her life to be a role model and a mentor. And so I offer these humble Yiddish folk songs that I hope you'll sing along from your places. The first is a Yiddish lullaby that my dear friend Vivian Orbach-Smith always asked me to sing when I went to her house. And because her father and mother of blessed memory loved this, so please sing along. May we always have raisins and almonds. In dem Beis Hamikdash, in a winkel cheder, sitzt die Almone Bastion allein. Ihr ben jochni die Leidle, wiegt sie Seder und der Jideles Wiegle steht a klorweiß Ziegele. Das Ziegele ist gefroren handeln. Das wird sein dein Beruf. Roschenkes mit Mandeln. Schlaf, Jidele, schlaf. Schlaf, Jidele, schlaf. Steht a Bocher unertracht, Tracht und Tracht a ganze Nacht. Wemmen zu nehmen und nicht verschämen, wemmen zu nehmen und nicht verschämen. Tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, laika, spielbala, laika, spielbala, laika, freilich soll sein. I can hear all of you singing. Mädel, Mädel, ich will bei dir fragen, was kann wachsen, wachsen an der Regen? Was kann brennen und nicht aufhören? Was kann wenden, wenden und brennen? Everybody! Tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, laika, spielbala, laika, tumbala, laika, freilich soll sein. Narischer Bacher, was darfst du fragen? A Stein kann wachsen, wachsen an der Regen. Liebe kann brennen und nicht aufhören. A Herz kann wenden, wenden und rennen. Tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, laika, spielbala, laika, tumbala, laika, freilich soll sein. And now thank you. I love this next song so much. And, years ago when I used to do a lot of programs and was like, oh, everybody knows Tumbalika. Everybody knows Oyfin Pripachik. That's so old. But today, not everybody knows it. And we have to keep singing these songs because we can't assume that everybody knows these same songs. They're so precious and we should keep singing them. And I love Oyfin Pripachik because it has some less known verses that relate to our wonderful speakers. One of the verses at the end says, as you endure our years of suffering, their burden you will bear. Be inspired by these little letters, their message for all to share. Oyfin Pripachik brennt a fire und in Stubis heiß und der Rebbe lernt kleine Kinderlach, dann Olive Base und der Rebbe lernt kleine Kinderlach, dann Olive Base. Setze Kinderlach, gedensche Teire, was ihr lernt do. Such sie noch einmal und tage noch einmal, komm jetzt alle vor. Such sie noch einmal und tage noch einmal, komm jetzt alle vor. Ihr wird Kinder älter werden, wird ihr allein verstehen, wie viel in die Häuschen liegen Tränen und wie viel Gewinn. Wie viel in die Häuschen liegen Tränen und wie viel Gewinn. Setze Kinderlach, gedensche Teire, was sie lernt do. Such sie noch einmal und tage noch einmal, komm jetzt alle vor. Such sie noch einmal und tage noch einmal, komm jetzt alle vor. Als ihr wird Kinder dem Goles schleppen, euch gemutschet sein, die Oisies koiach scheppen, guckt in See rein. Sollt ihr von die Oisies koiach scheppen, guckt in See rein. Setsche Kinderlach, gedensche Teire, was ihr lernt do. Such sie nach einmal und Tage nach einmal, kommet's alle vor. Such sie nach einmal und Tage nach einmal, kommet's alle vor. And this is because I'm so madly in love with our Judys. Der Moich is mir zu mischt, ich geh abends zu Christ. Ich weiß allein nicht, was ich will. Ich schäm sich, ich bin erreut. Die Zunge ist bei mir teut. Ich kann nicht sagen, was ich will. Du bist allein zu mir, in Herzen auf Quartier. Tracht wir zu sagen dir, als du bist. Schön wie die Lebanon, lichtig wie die Sterne, von Himmel am Matone, bist du mir zugeschickt. Mein Glück hab ich gewinnen, wenn ich habe dich gefunden. Schön wie Deutschen singen, hast mein Herz beglückt. Deine zänderlich weiße Perle, mit deine schöne Augen, deine Händelach, deine Herrlach, und mir zugezeugen, schön wie die Lebonne, lichtig wie die Sterne, von Himmel am Matone, bist du mir zugeschickt. Like the moon above you, the stars remind me of you, the angels knew I loved you, so heaven sent you to me. I'm such a lucky girl, you came into my world. There's not another lady feels as good as me. Deine zänderlich weiße Perlach, mit deine schöne Augen, deine Händelach, deine Herrlach, uns mit zugezeugen, schön wie die Lebonne, lichtig wie die Sterne, von Himmel am Matone, bist du mir zugeschickt. And every word of this next song is for the beautiful Judys and this beautiful program. Mein jiddische Mädle, sie ist so schön. Mein jiddische Mädle, mit ihrer jiddischen Chain, von Gold ihrer Herrlich, die Zähne wie Perlach, nur a jiddische Mädel kann sein so schön. Ihr wird vor Millionen bei anderen Nationen nicht gefunden a Mädel mit a jiddische Chain. You won't find another like our Judys. I love you. Thank you for the honor. You're making me cry.
Okay, everyone, please unmute yourself.
I'll stop crying.
Everyone unmute yourself. There has been a letter that has been sent to the editor. And Roz Nesin has a letter that's being sent to the editor.
Hi. I didn't think we could have our last Bissel Yiddish without a Bintel Brief. I created this Bintel Brief In English, I did my best to translate, and the great Yiddishist Zalman Malotic helped me translate it and put it together. So here we go. Tyre, when Annette is going to translate sentence by sentence, I'm going to read Yiddish. Tyre redactor.
Dear doctor or editor.
Editor.
Yeah.
Ich habe ein Problem, mit welcher ich hoffe, ihr werdet mir können helfen.
I have a problem and I hope that you can help me.
In mein Stadt, Stamford, Connecticut, zwei wunderbare Frauen mit selben Namen Judy haben angeheiratet ein Yiddish Club mit dem Namen Bissel Yiddish.
In my town of Stamford, Connecticut, two wonderful women started a club called Bissel Yiddish, and they both have the same name, Judy.
Vor 5 Jahren haben wir sich getroffen auf der ersten Freitag von Heidisch.
For 5 years, we have been meeting on the first day of the month.
Wir haben gehört, geredet Yiddish.
We heard the speaking of Yiddish.
Judy Altmann hat gelernt von Bintel Brief.
Judy Altmann read from the Bintel Brief.
Wir haben gelernt, wie sei mit private jiddische Yom-Tovim bei verschiedenen Minim Yidden.
We learned how to celebrate different Jewish holidays with different types of Jewish people.
Wir haben gelacht, gesungen, wir haben sich gefreut mit unserer Jiddischkeit.
We laughed, we sang, and we had joy from our Yiddishkeit.
It's Tyra Redactor, Judy Liebeskind sitzt sich weg und Judy Altmann sitzt sich zurück von dem Programm.
Now, dear editor, Judy Liebeskind is moving away and Judy Altmann is retiring.
Sie haben geschaffen und geführt dem Programm und sie seien mir wie ein Schiff on a rudder.
They led the program, and without them, we're like a ship without a rudder.
That ship without a rudder was Zalman's.
Okay.
Keiner hat sich noch nicht beweisen, sehr Art zu nehmen. Und
No one else has stepped up to take their place.
Und ich hab mir, als mir wird verlernen, ein bisschen Yiddish in Stanford.
No.
And I am sad that we are going to lose Bissel Yiddish in Stanford.
Was tun wir?
What should we do?
Raisel. Okay. Tyra Leonard.
Dear learner or reader.
Right.
Yeah.
Ich bin so zufrieden zu hören wegen ein bisschen Yiddish.
I am so happy to hear about Bissel Yiddish.
Es klingt wunderlich.
It sounds wonderful.
Ich bin so zufrieden, als ihr lernt ein bisschen Bintel Brief bei eurer Klassen.
I am so happy that you read a Bintel Brief by, and I didn't get the last two words.
Bei eurer Klassen.
In your classes, yeah.
Ich hab Nachricht davon.
I have nachas from that.
Das erste Sache, was ihr darf tun, ist bedanken die zwei Judys für organisieren dem Programm Beklal.
The first thing that you have to do is to thank the two Judys, first of all, for running the program or starting the program.
A großen Dank, Judys.
Thank you, Judys.
Was für ein Eizer und Mitzvah haben sie gegeben und verdient für die Jiden von Stanford.
What a mitzvah they have earned or given to the people of Stanford.
Dennoch darf ihr finden, eine Mitzvah oder eine kleine Gruppe von was wird organisieren ein bisschen Yiddish in der Zukunft.
So now you have to find someone or a small group that will organize a Bissel Yiddish.
Sag sich nicht.
Don't worry.
Auf dem Menschenwillen bei MS Herren Yiddish, die Gruppe,
If people really want to hear Yiddish,
Die Gruppe wird continuieren in ein Form oder an andere.
The group will continue in one form or another.
Der Redakteur.
And that's from the editor. Okay. Sehr schön.
You all can now unmute yourselves. And I must say, Roz, Annette, thank you for continuing, at least for today, what it's always been. But I got a sense in talking to a lot of you that, who knows where all this will go. And I must say that I'm so taken by the response. But you would all say, so you're not surprised? Of course not. What a group. What a terrific thing. So this morning at 7:28, I got an email from Judy Liebeskind, who had some pictures that she wanted to share. And I'm going to try to show them to you. And you can see that maybe there's another Judy who just can't stop dancing. Just hang on 1 second and I'll try to get this going. Just bear with me.
Can I give the context, Peter? I'd like to introduce why you're showing the picture.
Okay, got it.
Well, this was at our food
Oh,
fest.
yeah.
We had a Yiddish food fest, which was an enormous success.
The Mandelbrot.
Uh-huh.
Can you see the picture?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This was a
Barbara,
pic-
mute yourself.
Might be my ass.
Okay, this was our Yiddish food fest, which was the group of Yiddishers brought all kinds of food to this party. There was simmis, there was kishka, there was kugels up the kazoo, and Brucha Viner brought in the Two Olgas, which was a musical group who played music and sang songs. And we got people on their feet, and they're dancing. This was all at our Yiddish food fest. And there's Judy in the white jacket. She was leading the dancing.
Right.
And we had such a good time. It was a booming success, our Yiddish food fest. There's Judith. Oh,
I think I might be standing next to her.
oh, there's Elissa and me. I didn't know I was in these
I
pictures.
know, yeah.
Elissa, maybe you could chime in on this.
Well, this was the most beautifully delicious day I've had in a long time. And I agree, you walked in and there were about 100 people there,
Yeah.
or 10,000, a number's not my thing. And there, everybody was smiling and eating and telling stories about the food and their families and their grandparents. And it was the best cultural and bonding experience that I think we've had in a very long time. It really showed us that we are 21st century people. And notice that there are men and women and people of all ages too. I know children there, but there were a wide variety of people there, and that we're 21st century people, but we have long memories. We have we have in our DNA and in our very cells the stories of the past, and all we have to do is just remind ourselves about those stories. And much beauty and much
She's missing
and
that.
much courage.
Barbara, please mute yourself.
Oops. Sorry. No, we're talking.
So I was going to say there's much beauty and much courage and much insight and much wisdom. And we all carry it with us, our Bintel Yid, our little spark of Yiddishkeit, our little spark of Jewishness. And however we manifest that today, we all carry it with us, and it guides us in everything we do.
Oh, thank you.
Peter, if you'd like, I actually have a couple videos from that day of singing, Judy singing also. If you would like to, I could actually show those if you want it.
Okay, well, we got one last picture here. I think Judy, and who's that other person with her?
Sandy Berliner.
Okay, so we all know that not only does Judy have a good time, she shares that good time with whomever she's with. And what a role model she is for all of us. Terrific. So, Seema, if you have the video.
Oh, Barbara Vina.
So that's one. We'll let it go, the whole thing.
Sounds like Al Linder.
That is Al Linder. Okay, so let me go back. We've got Elissa and Barbara. Here's another group. That's something else that I threw in there. Oh, this is Yiddish words document. I keep everything, so just know I keep it all. I literally do. Gail, and let's see, can I go through? There we go. Here's a couple others.
That was Joe Field.
There we go.
It's a wonderful
Look at
picture.
this, Charlie.
Look at Judy.
There she is dancing up.
This was such a great day. Okay, let's see what else I've got. And next, some more pictures.
Barbara Rosenberg.
Yep. And Nancy, and let me see what else I got here. Hang on. There we go. That was a card. And is there anything else here? And there we go. That's all I got.
Well, Seema, thank you very much. And for all of us, we have such wonderful memories of being with Judy Altmann, and what Judy Liebeskind's done with her has been fabulous. Is there anyone else who would like to share a memory?
I'd like to speak, Peter.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to do it in a little Yiddish, and Roz, maybe you could translate into English. Want to try? Okay. You're muted. Okay.
Yep.
Ich will danken jeder eine, was hat gekommen heint für die Simcha für die zwei Judys.
I would like to thank everyone who came today for the simcha for the two Judys.
Okay. En ich will dir alle danken für sein in a Bissel Yiddish für 5 Jahre. Alle Menschen, was haben gekommen und gelacht und gedreht.
I want to thank all of you who've been coming for the last 5 years, who've come and laughed and spoke.
Wir sollen durch 5 Jahre, 2-3 Jahre sollen wir gewinnen in Stanford Jewish Center. And wir kennen sich Sinn und wir kennen sich Arim nehmen.
In the 5 years, the first 2 or 3 years, we met at the Jewish Center and we could see each other, we could hug each other, we could visit with each other.
And we can essen, auch.
And we could eat together.
Yes. And nudem is gekommen das Inblick COVID.
After that came COVID.
Und ich darf dir sagen, und ich weiß für alle Menschen, es ist dasselbe, als ein bisschen Yiddish auf Zoom ist gekommen als eine important Sache für uns alle.
Then came COVID, and I think it's the same for all the people. Being able to participate in a Bissel Yiddish over Zoom was really significant for us all.
Sit-ins gemacht, a bissel geringer.
It made things a little easier for us.
Okay. And es ist gewinn a Schenkeit in a sehr schwere Welt.
It was something beautiful in a hard time, at hard times.
Und will ich sagen zu mein süße, schöne, wunderbar Tante Judith Altmann, a schönen Dank von uns alle und von mir, als wir gekannt, sein zusammen die Zeiten.
Now I want to say something to my beautiful, wonderful, smart Aunt Judy. Can you just say that? What did you say?
That I'm just so happy that we came
I'm
together.
so happy we could come together. Yeah.
Sie hat so schwer gearbeitet mit dem Bintel Brief.
She worked so hard on reading that Bintel Brief.
A Sachzeit hat sie gedacht, schreiben the Bintel Brief.
And many times she had to rewrite it from what was on the newsprint that she had.
And das ist nicht gewinn a geringe Sache.
And that wasn't an easy thing.
Okay. But sie hat es getan von Liebe zu uns alle.
She did that out of love for us all.
Und wir haben sie lieb, so viel uns alle auch.
And we all love her a great deal also.
Okay, so a schönen Dank und das getan a Mitzvah zu allen Menschen, die so gekommen zu Bissel Yiddish.
Thank you. You've done a mitzvah for all of us who've come to a Bissel Yiddish.
Und ich hoffe, als zu sein Zeiten, dass wir kennen das Team ein bisschen mehr. Und ich auch wohl gedankt dir für das Erzählen von deinen jungen Jahren, Vater Malhumme, alle Stories, was mit deiner Familie.
She started by saying, I hope we'll have more of these opportunities. And I want to thank you for sharing with us all about your family in Europe before the war.
And ich will dir sehen, sehen in person.
And we'll see each other. We'll come together soon.
Okay. And to Judy Liebeskind, ich bin so zufrieden, als ich hab dir gekannt wissen, du ein bisschen Jiddisch. Du bist als ein wunderbarer Mensch und ich danke dir für mein Herz und für alle Menschen.
Judy, I got to know you through a Bissel Yiddish, and you're a wonderful person, and I thank you on my behalf, on behalf of all the other people.
Und dies uns ausgelernt, als auch Jiddisch mit alle deine Homework und alle deine Werten.
You taught us a lot of Yiddish with that homework and those words you did.
Okay. And the andere Sache,
the other thing
is as Elissa, wait, we just got a phone call. All right, 1 second. Elissa is, ich will sagen zu Judy Liebeskind, dass sie sollst nur nachher als die Geist und deine Familie und sollst kennen mit ihnen noch einmal zoomen auf andere Sachen.
To Judy, you should have a lot of good luck when you new move and with your family, and you should Zoom with us at other times.
Okay. Und ist das Elissa, ich will dir sagen, als ich habe so freilich gewinnt von alle deine Stories von den Jontifs. Und ist mir gegeben als Sachinformation, ich habe nicht gewusst.
Elissa, I want to thank you for all the stories you told about the holidays. I learned stuff that I didn't know.
Und jeder eine hat uns gemacht lachen. Go ahead.
No, and every story and every incident made us laugh.
Okay, and wir sollen jeden und es ist du a Sach weinen, but this is gemacht freilach.
We're Jews, and there's a lot that we cry about, but you made us happy.
Okay, and Esther will Dank tun zu Peter, was zusammengestellt, das ganze Bissel Yiddish. Und ich bin so glücklich, als wir sollen gekannt noch einmal kommen als ein schöner Zoom.
I'd like to thank Peter for putting this morning together, and she's happy that we could come together for such a nice Zoom this morning.
Okay, ich denke, als ich habe alle meine Noten gelernt und ich bin sehr zufrieden, kennen jeder Mensch auf der Zoom.
I read all my notes, and I'm very happy that I was able to see everybody on the Zoom.
Okay, all right, that's it.
Okay,
Um,
I think Judy Nathan has her hand up.
Leo Nathan. I was never married to Giuliani. I just wanted to thank Peter for organizing this wonderful tribute to the two Judys, to Judy Liebeskind and to Judith Altmann. I came late to the group. I came 2 months before the pandemic. So I did enjoy briefly coming to the JCC, and I was very honored and privileged to be invited in so nicely. I wanted to say that, of course, I appreciate Judy Liebeskind for the method of organization that she applied to this so that we could all come together. And of course, when I tell people in my office, I'm in an office where I'm the only Jewish person in my company. And when I tell Judy Altmann's story, they look at me in disbelief because she's such an extraordinary example of human survival and human kindness. So I feel very privileged just to live a block away from her, and hope to catch up with her soon. But I think that Peter is very interested in having this go forward, and I have told Peter that I would volunteer to help him put something together. But I'm hopeful that others of you will step forward to talk to Peter so that we can bring this back, because I think it's a very important thing. This little class is a link in the Jewish connection, not just in Stanford, but such things like this are a link across the country to keep our Jewish community, which is suffering because of the incredible rise of anti-Semitism around this country. So I'm hopeful that those of you who are interested will contact Peter, and I'm happy to apply my experience and knowledge to help us bring back this group. But I think it's an incredible group, and I think it's very important that we should make an endeavor to help it to continue in some way. And maybe every now and then we will have a little luck, a little mazel, and one or both of the Judys will pay us a surprise visit. So I send them both my best wishes. I hope that you Nosia Tova, to a good journey to Massachusetts, Judy L. And Judy, I hope that we're going to meet on the street soon. So thank you very much.
well, so does anybody else have some thoughts they'd like to share? Yes.
I just want to say, for years, I was Judy Altmann's official chauffeur, and to numerous things. And that was been one of my highlights, talking with her and back and forth. So I will definitely miss that sort of personal connection that we have had in these, I don't know how many years, but quite a few years. So I will miss that. Maybe someday I'll be back at the job. But right now I know you don't want to do anything, so it's okay.
So just so that you all know, this program has been recorded. And when it's available, we'll try to share around it. If you'd like to listen to it, it will. And I'd like to thank Elissa and David Kaplan for their assistance on the technology on this. And there is going to be a lot of editing taken. It takes time to go through all this. But I want to thank everyone, and particularly the two Judys. Elissa, you wanted to say something?
I was going to say, we haven't heard from Judy Altmann or Judy Liebeskind. In fact, Judy has her hand up.
Judy has her hand up, yes.
Okay.
Judy Altmann.
Ja, dat is de... Goede en teile Chaveren. Ich will euch herzlich danken für den größten Covid, was ihr hat uns beide Judy gegeben.
Wait, let someone translate it. Annette, do you want to translate it?
Yes, my dear friends and Haverim friends, I want to thank you for this great honor that you have given both me and Judy.
Because I always pick the wrong letter. Right. Als min große Honor, wie für große Helden.
Such a great honor for great, and I don't know the last word.
It's like heroes, great
Oh, I
heroes.
didn't hear.
Like a
Okay,
great hero.
okay. Chime in, Roz. Go ahead.
Judy Liebeskind hat Tage verdient alle die Sachen, because in a Stück an andere Judy, wie sie ist.
Judy Liebeskind has really earned all of these wonderful accolades because there's nobody like Judy Liebeskind. There's no other one.
Und ich denke auch für beide uns, für so wunderbare Platz zu sein. Und ich hoffe noch, du zu sein, viel Jahre Gott soll man noch geben.
And I thank you. I'm happy to be, I think it's the Zoom, right? Is that what you're talking about? That you gave us this
Part of everything.
time. And I hope that for many years we'll be able to do it again.
Amen.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you all. This has been a wonderful honor. For me, it's the first time I was ever honored. Now, Judy Altmann, this is probably the 1,000th time she's been honored. And it is such a joy and a privilege to be part of this Yiddish group. And the reason it was so successful was, number one, Judy is the most charming, lovable, warm, kind, amazing person who has thousands of followers, and people just logged on just to be exposed to beautiful, wonderful Judy. And the other reason that it was so successful is because everybody participated. They were really into this thing and made suggestions that I couldn't believe that it would turn out. You know, Roz Nesin said, let's go to make a field trip to go see Fiddler on the Roof. And she made it happen. And Brucha, she always would come with hot off the oven cottage cheese pancakes and meat patties and cookies, and Shirley would come with cakes, and people would come just for the food. And then Joan Krantz comes up with this cousin who was the first passenger to cross the English Channel in his own airplane, and he was competing with Lindbergh, but Lindbergh won, but her cousin, he became the first passenger to cross. And he became a popular Jewish folk hero. There were 4 songs written about him in Yiddish, which became very, very popular on WEVD. And everybody had these wonderful contributions that made it all happen. And this is such a beautiful tribute. I mean, today I became associated with the great ladies of history, with this Judith who cut off heads. Oh, wonderful. And then I heard these wonderful songs about my beautiful teeth and my beautiful, you know, how beautiful I am, our Cantor who sang such beautiful songs. And it was just a beautiful tribute, and I enjoyed every minute of it, and it was such fun, and I love you all, and I'm very, very happy to have participated in this wonderful experience. Thank you. And maybe Shirley may be unmuted now, I don't know.
Shirley is unmuted, yes.
Yes.
Shirley,
Can I talk?
yes,
Shirley,
go ahead.
whatever you said before, we didn't hear one word.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
You can hear me now. I just want to say what a privilege it was for me to be in this group with the 2 Judys, Judy Liebeskind is my close friend, and Judy Altmann is my hero, a hero. And I want to thank you both. And I want to wish Judy Liebeskind all the best in her move to Lexington, Massachusetts, and to have only good things happen in her family in the future. And Judy Altmann, we look forward to doing this again with you and to Zooming with Judy in Lexington, Massachusetts. And love to all of you. Okay.
I want to say one more thing. Roz Nesin, your Bintel Brief was beyond amazing.
It was.
It was a wonderful Bintel Brief. It was the best Bintel Brief we've ever heard. Thank you so much. That was very clever. Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I could send it to you and Judy.
Oh, wonderful.
It's written in Yiddish letters and in transliterated and in English. I'll send
Perfect.
it to you. I don't have Judy's email and you could send it to her.
Okay.
I would like to say a few words.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Judy.
Chusheve entire Chaveren. Ein herzlichen Dank für den größten Kobod, wo Sie uns gegeben haben. Also wie für die größten Helden. Ich bin kein Heldinisch. Ich hab Tage Freunde von alle, aber ihr seid der warmste zu mein Herz. Und ich hoffe noch zu sein, viel Jahren, und ich immer noch zusammenkommen. Und einen schönen Dank für alles, was ihr habt getan.
Again, thank you to our wonderful friends, and you treated us like heroes, and I hope that we can get together for years to come. And I thank you from my heart, this wonderful group.
What
I
a
think I got
wonderful gift we've received now for 5 years. And it's hard to imagine it's 5 years, it's gone by so quickly. And what's really wonderful is that we've gotten to know each other better and how we feel. And it's been a good coffee clutch for 5 years. So I want to thank everybody for the kind of gift, frankly, that we've given each other. And I want to say how touched I am by all of this.
And I want to say good luck to Bissel Yiddish in the future. I think I could see Bissel Yiddish in the future. Definitely. Good luck.
Look what's become of a Bissel Yiddish. It's not so Bissel, really.
It's going to be a Ganze Yiddish.
Ganze, really terrific. So everyone, stay healthy until we meet again soon, I hope. And thank you all very much for being involved in what you do. And maybe somebody will be tapping you on the shoulder on what might be a next phase, if possible. Take care, everybody, and thank you again.
Sei gesund.
Sei gesund.
Sei gesund. Dank.
Annette, kannst du singen ein Yiddish Lied? Verwählt.
Tumbalalaika.
Ja, Tumbalalaika.
Hecher fin a hois, vus is bleat, ner fin a mois. A dach is hecher fin a hois, a katz is bleat, ner fin a mois. Tumbala, tumbala, tumbalalaika. Too high for me. Tumbala, tumbala, tumbalalaika. Tumbala, tumbala, tumbalalaika. Tumbalalaika, shpilbalalaika. Tumbala, like, so sein. That's it.